See it? Came down on a long trip down on the Parafed bus. One hell of a long trip actually, 1:30 in the morning. We arrived down here at about 10 o'clock and then went straight to the casino.
Where's your eye gone? I don't know. I turned my back.
And this is the 29th Nationals, and we have them every year at Easter time. And they've been sponsored by Caltex all that time.
12 months we've gone into this, and the proof of it is in this weekend as to how successful it's been.
How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
16.
16. You're quite young to be a competitor here.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Is this your first games?
No, it's second.
You haven't got a very big team?
No.
Just you?
Good beer with a good cigar. Compulsory.
This is 157 competitors. Last time in Christchurch we had about 100 competitors, so it's 5 years ago, so it's grown 50% in that time.
Competitors who have assembled from the North Cape to the Bluff and as far afield as Papua New Guinea and Australia. Our aroha to you, kia kaha, kia tō, kia manawa nui.
The rubbing of noses. Rubbing your noses? It's not the Dwayne Khan, is it?
Well, yeah, I'm the only one that I know about.
You did well at Atlanta, didn't you?
It did go reasonably well.
How many medals?
6 medals, 4 gold, silver and a bronze. I've retired. Retired from competitive swimming.
So you're just having a play at the Nationals, are you?
Recreational swimming, supporting others. Got involved as one of the New Zealand selectors and focused some energies on work.
She does 4 nights a week after school, 2 hours a day.
Well, I heard a story that she just trained between Shorten Street and Friends.
That's the way she'd like to train.
Take your mark.
Way, how far was that?
200. Come take it.
Can you tell me what the time was, please?
2:36.82.
Thanks.
How does that compare with Atlanta?
It shows what 8 months training or non-training does.
What's the difference in time?
8 seconds slower.
Is that right?
Yeah. Expected.
But you have retired.
Well, that's right.
Well done on a superb effort. Congratulations.
I used to go to the Domain to push to get rid of some of my frustrations about having a disability. Yeah, in Auckland. And at the stage I was sort of going there every day, having a friend drop me off so I could get rid of some of my frustration and energy. and I met a guy called William Tan who used to represent New Zealand at Paralympics.
All right.
He said, well, what are you doing here? What are you training for? Training? I'm not training, I'm just angry. I'm out here having a bit of a push, you know. He said, but you've been here 7 days. And I said, yeah, well, I'm really angry this week. You know, and he said, well, told me about the games. So I went and had a look 2 weeks later, and down in Hamilton, and saw people with disability, and some far more disabled than myself, having fun. And I thought, yes, this is it, you know. I went along 2 weeks after that and competed in Auckland Games, and never looked back, really.
First option's a pass. Okay, look, every time I've rotated the ball, got an easy basket underneath. Let's not make the first option the shot, please.
Yeah, 1 pass, 1 shot, so not on.
Okay, so you're going to pick pass.
Yeah, I'll go left post, I'll go, you might take left post by the side.
Pick the middle.
Pick the middle, eh?
Bring it in. Shot! Baby! One out!
Hey Jackie, are the rules here any different?
No, it's exactly the same as standing tennis, but you're allowed 2 bounces of the ball, which is not always needed. A lot of the time you only need 1 bounce. But that's the only difference. There's only 3 women in this tournament, so there's not enough to hold a draw, so we're having to play against the men.
You're the top seed?
Yes.
Have you played outside New Zealand?
Yes, last year I was 7 months in Europe. This is a big international circuit. There's tournaments every week. I got my world ranking down to 25 in singles and 23 in doubles.
How do you get funded for all this? Do you fund yourself?
Last year I did, but this year I need sponsorship.
So if anyone's watching who wants to sponsor you, they're welcome to get in touch with you.
That'd be great.
I had sponsorship early on after '92 in Barcelona for a couple of years, and I have sponsorship through Sports Foundation backing, but it's still not enough to get you to events when you're paying price for 2 airfares and 2 registrations, because I need assistance to do my events.
So you need 2 airfares to get to travel overseas?
Yeah, I can't compete by myself because I need to be helped to get into my track chair and onto my throwing frame.
So has it cost you personally, financially, over the years?
Yeah, it has cost me personally. I'm paying that back now, and will for the next few years. But it's all been worth it. Like the personal rewards for me of doing the sport have been worth it financially. Like a lot of people say, oh, would you do it again? I'd do it all over again.
There's 4 players on each team. There's more players off court ready to be subbed. All of the players have to total 8 points on court.
So each player is accorded points according to his disability?
Yep. Some of the quads have broken their necks a lot higher, so they're given like 0.5 points, right. And the most able are 3.5 points. It's very physical. I've trained with the guys, and it's really hard work and a lot of crashing and bashing.
Christine, are we in New Zealand typical in the Western world in our coverage of sport for the disabled on television?
No, it's very far from typical. Australia, for example, from '92 and '96 Olympics, had an hour-and-a-half coverage a day.
And what did we have in New Zealand?
We had a 42-minute documentary 2 months after we got home, and a few news clippings.
Gosh, and that's all we had?
That's all we had, but then that's all netball had 10 years ago, isn't it? And look where netball's got today. So hopefully we can keep on our roll and get a bit more.
Once people see it, I mean, I think the catchphrase in Atlanta was, you know, I didn't realise.
I'm right-handed, but I have a slightly better left hand, so it's always a toss-up which hand I'm going to use. So I used my left hand today. I get off and I wonder if I should have used my right.
And how are you going in the discus?
I've got the New Zealand record,
and it would have given me, maybe would have given me a medal at Atlanta, but it would have given me a world ranking.
Lane 2, Hamish 10. Lane 3, Paul Furman. Lane 4, Ian Jemmett.
1664.
That's my record, but
and a new New Zealand record.
I'm just gonna try. I don't know if I will because I've recently had surgery, so but I'm gonna try and get close anyway.
First, M. Mawson from CNI with a new New Zealand record. Second, Joe Nelson.
Good.
No, I didn't get it.
If you could keep your... It's not a big year for us internationally this year, so just going to have some fun. I've got the Boston Marathon in three weeks, so just building up to that really and just having a bit of fun down here.
Are you going over to the Boston Marathon? First time?
Yeah, I was in Boston for 3 months last year, but I never actually did the race, so just going to head over there and do it this time for the first time and see how it goes. Just get used to the course and then maybe next year have a big assault on it, see if we can't finish in the top 5.
Okay.
Go, Ricky. Okay, Ricky, third attempt.
What height did you do?
172.
And how tall are you?
170.
What we're doing is we're broadcasting the games live and putting them onto the internet. So we have photographers out on the track and field area, and they're filming the events using video cameras and digital cameras, and those images coming through here. They're processed into web pages and transferred onto the internet.
Oh! I'm not a triple jumper, I'm a middle distance runner actually, but yeah, just give it a bash.
And you broke the record? Yeah. 4 times out of 6 tries? Too hot for today?
No, it's nice. I like the heat.
Do you know who the oldest competitor here is?
Probably Trevor James.
Well, I heard it was you.
Well, if it is... Oh,
you're going to blame it on Trevor James, are you?
Oh, well, yeah.
What are you? You're a throwing competitor?
Yeah, shot, discus, jab, and I'm in table tennis.
How's it going?
Oh, every time I think about it, the bones ache, the muscles ache. Yeah, I'm definitely in the geriatric class. Veterans.
Christine, you're not competing this time round.
No, a bit of time out and time for reflection on what I've done and a rest. But it's good to be at Nationals and actually be able to watch the young ones who are coming along and try and give them some pointers to not get bad habits early, like Graham Condon did to me when I started.
How long were you competing?
8 years nationally and 5 years internationally.
But this isn't retirement necessarily.
I thought it was originally, but now I still have such a longing to compete. It's not that I miss the training, although sometimes I do. Yeah, but it's not retire. I'm not saying retirement now. I'm saying a year out and reevaluate at the end of the year whether I want to be a lady of leisure or get back into it.
Right.
This is 800 metres.
800 metres,
yeah.
Two times
Two
round.
laps, yeah. 2 laps.
All the best.
Hard out, thank you very much. I'll need it against Gav. This is one of those specialty races. So,
Where's Gav over here?
This is Gav.
So Ben reckons he needs a bit of luck against you.
Oh, I don't know, last year I think he tipped me out in this one, so we'll see how we go.
On your mark.
Gavin Fulton from Auckland, followed closely by Ben Lucas from Canterbury. Gavin Fulton. I think this will be a close finish between Ben Lucas and Gavin Fulton.
So Gav's a good sprinter and I'm more an endurance guy, so I cranked it up from about 500 metres out and held it and just managed to hold him off in the sprint at the end. So yeah.
You train together?
No way, I wouldn't train home.
No, Gav lives in Auckland, I live down here now.
Oh,
so,
is that right?
So yeah, a bit far away.
So how often do you get to race against each other?
Oh, a few times, I don't know, half a dozen times a year, I suppose.
Mostly when we go overseas, we don't bring against each other.
Yeah, and the occasional, like always at nationals, and the occasional track from time to time as well.
Yeah,
it's always good, always a lot of fun.
It's actually bigger than what it's ever been before, with 156 athletes and over 200 officials and staff. So big numbers, and yeah, tremendous. Lots of New Zealand records broken, and yeah, it's a huge success, really huge.
Yeah, it's a gold medal, I think.
Congratulations.
It looks gold anyway.
If you have any suggestions,